You can absolutely grab one of these free DAWs or digital audio workstations and start creating music right away. Now, the best one for you kind of will depend on what your needs are and the style of music that you plan on creating. So we'll look at that. Plus, I've got some advice on how to select the best DAW for you. So stick around for that. And I'm going to start off with the unlimited selection. So these are ones that are completely unlimited. Last year we had 3. This year we're down to like 1.5, and you'll see what I mean. But the first one is Traction Waveform Free. And this one allows you to have unlimited tracks. You can bring in effects and instrument plugins that you purchase or maybe you find for free. And it does include some useful effects and a few instruments, but you're going to want to get some other ones to add in there. You can work with audio and MIDI in there. So who is Traction Waveform Free great for? Newcomers, as it's fairly easy to jump in and get started with, but it also gives you a lot of pro features that you can access as your skills start to grow. Waveform can handle pretty much any type of music. It has all the tools for rock, EDM styles, beat making, and whatever else you want to throw at it. I've used Traction Waveform to create tons of songs, and it's been a solid program. So now what about that half program? Well, that one is Cakewalk by BandLab. At the time of recording this video, which is April 2024, it's still available for free, but they say that they're going to be phasing out this free version at some point in the near future. So let's check that one out. And I should mention, if you do grab this free version right now, you can continue to use it for free for as long as you like. And with this one, you get a fully loaded, unlimited digital audio workstation. So you can have unlimited tracks. You can load any effects and instrument plugins in there. And it actually comes with a decent suite of instruments and useful effects. And one of the really cool things in Cakewalk is that every channel and every bus has a pro channel strip with an EQ, compression, console emulation, tape emulation, saturation, and even more. And you can arrange these however you like, or you can turn off that pro channel altogether. And again, who is this one for? Well, it can pretty much handle any style of music. It even comes with a clip launcher that's similar to Ableton Live. So for rock, pop, EDM, beats, or whatever, Cakewalk by BandLab can do it all. All right, so that's the free DAWs that don't have any limitations. Now we're going to have to get into the ones that have some limitations, but they're still very useful. And we're going to start with Pro Tools Intro. And one of the things that I love about Pro Tools Intro is that it comes with everything you need to record and mix your songs, as long as you don't have huge track count needs, as you can only have 8 audio tracks, 8 instrument tracks, and 8 MIDI tracks. It comes with 36 plugins and 1 instrument plugin, which is the Expand 2 instrument, and that one's pretty cool. The stock effects that it comes with are great, and you've likely heard these on tons of hit songs, as Pro Tools stock effects have found their way into many of them. You have the same workflow as the bigger professional version of Pro Tools, and you can also bring in any third-party plugins that you purchase or you find for free. So who is this one great for? Again, this one can cover many styles of music, from rock to pop to EDM and all the beat stuff. And really, this one's for the person that wants to get into Pro Tools. Maybe they want to go a little more professional in their music production career, and maybe even work in a pro studio one day, or work with people in a pro studio. If you learn on this one, you're going to have those same workflows as the pros have. And you can even work your way up to the pro one and start paying for that if you should want to. One of the digital audio workstations that's making its way into more and more pro studios is PreSonus Studio One, and they have a free version that you can get started with. It's called Studio One Prime, and this one is almost unlimited, except for one important thing. You can't bring in any third-party plugins, so you're stuck with whatever effects and instruments that they give you. And they do give you some alright effects, but this one's really lacking a decent compressor and a decent EQ. However, you do get an excellent platform to record and arrange your songs in there, and you get the Presence XT instrument. Studio One Prime is a decent entry point to see if you like the workflow of Studio One, and then maybe you'll want to upgrade to another level. And if you are really wanting to get into Studio One, you can purchase a PreSonus audio interface or even their fader port, and it's going to come with Studio One Artist, and that opens the program right up and makes it extremely powerful. And who is Studio One for? Well, again, this one is great at all styles of music. So if you do rock, pop, country, metal, or anything like that, it can be great for you. But also if you do electronic styles of music, this one can be great for you. Now, if you're wanting to start with something maybe a little more beginner friendly, Magic's Music Maker Free is a great introduction to music production software. It does have some limitations though, like there's the track limitation, so you can only have 8 tracks. It does come with 3 virtual instruments and 6 sound pools. And these sound pools are like loop packs, so you can just drag and drop these loops into the timeline and start making music that way. And you can record audio into here no problem, and it actually includes a decent amp sim. You can also record and edit MIDI in here no problem. It can be very easy to catch on with this one, but the limitations of the free version make it not a very good choice if you're wanting to be more serious. You can actually upgrade though for $25 to unlock even more stuff in here and make the program a lot more useful. Now, who is Magic's Music Maker Free good for? Well, it's good for the beginner that really wants to get started with music production and wants a more simple program to get started with, but it can handle rock styles of music, EDM styles, beat making, and all that sort of stuff. But if you want to work with loops and samples, it does really excel at that. All right, this next free DAW, it's been around for years, it's been updated, but it still pretty much looks the same. This one is Audacity. Now, this one is more of a very powerful audio editing software, but there's many people out there that use this as their multi-track digital audio workstation due to its extremely easy to start workflow, and that can make it great for beginners. And with the newer versions now, you can even use VST3 plugins in it, which does make Audacity a little more useful, but you still can't use virtual instruments in there, and there's no MIDI programming in there as well. So if you're only working with audio and you want something that's pretty easy to start with, then Audacity might be for you. All right, now let's look at a couple of online programs so you don't need to install these ones. And we're going to start with BandLab. Like I said, this is a cloud-based platform. So one of the cool things is you can start a project on your phone or a tablet away from your studio. Then you can come back to your studio and open up that project on your laptop or your desktop computer, and you can get going from there. The user interface makes it very easy for beginners to start creating music, and it still offers some excellent MIDI editing and even automation. You get a huge library of virtual instruments and loops with endless creative possibilities. Overall, the BandLab DAW is a very versatile and user-friendly option for pretty much any style of music, but it does really excel at electronic genres as audio recording is possible in it, but it's not the greatest because it's cloud-based, so there's a little more latency there. If the idea of cloud-based music making really appeals to you, then you might want to check out the free audio tool. And with this one, you get a wide range of virtual instruments, effects, and synthesizers. The user interface is very sleek and intuitive, and like other cloud-based programs, you can record audio in there, but the latency isn't going to be the greatest. However, working with audio can be great if you already have some that's recorded, or you don't need to worry about latency. So you can start your music projects on the road and then bring it home to finish it with the cloud-based free audio tool. Now let's look at some free DAWs that are more geared towards electronic styles of music. We're going to start off with MPC Beats. This one gives you the workflow that's similar to a hardware MPC. So you have your 16 pads to trigger your audio samples and loops. It comes with 80 effects plus some decent instruments, but it also supports VST plugins, so you can load in any other effect and instrument that you want. You can record audio into it, but you're limited to just 2 stereo audio tracks. So if you're going to be doing some beat making and then you need to add a little bit of a live vocal in there or some other audio instrument, you can do that in here. You can record those in, but you do have that 2-track limitation. It's a very cool system for beat makers to get started with the MPC workflow, but as you grow your talents, you may want to upgrade to the next level, which is called MPC 2, and that's going to open things right up for you. Another program that's very similar, but it has a limit of 1 audio track, is the free version of Serato Studio. The workflow here is different, but it excels at beat making and electronic styles of music. I thought it would be worth a mention here just in case you want to try another program that's really geared toward beat making. Now, I very quickly want to mention another program. This one is LMMS. This one is all about working with virtual instruments, and although you can load audio into it, you can't record audio into it at all. It's great if you want to start composing some music with virtual instruments, as it's fairly easy to start editing MIDI in here. You can export your entire projects or tracks to audio, so maybe you can use this to create some loops and samples, and then you can bring those into other programs if you want. Now, very quickly, some other programs that if I don't mention them, I know I'm going to get comments on them, and the first one's going to be Reaper. This one is not a free DAW. People treat it like it's free because they have a very generous demo that allows you to continue to use it unlocked even after the trial period ends. It is an excellent program and it's definitely worth trying out, but I really don't like calling it free because it's not free. Now, the next mention, because I know I'm going to get comments on this one, is Ardour. Now, this one is free on Windows, but you need to know how to compile code. Having said that, you can actually pay as low as $1 for this, so it's very close to free. And then there's going to be the free program that comes with your audio interface. Now, many of them include Ableton Live Lite, some include Cubase LE, and like I mentioned earlier, the PreSonus audio interfaces include PreSonus Studio One Artist. And all of those are excellent programs worth checking out, so if your audio interface or piece of gear comes with one of those, be sure to check those out. So how do you select the best free DAW or even just best DAW for you? Well, what I recommend doing is you evaluate your needs. So do you need all of those tracks? Do you need one that's great for electronic styles of music and beat making? Do you want one that's cloud-based? So evaluate your needs, and then from there, select 2 or 3 of these programs, download them, give each one a really good trial. So actually try to make a beat or a little bit of a song in there so you can get a feel of the workflow. And then you should narrow it down to like 2 or even 1 of them, or maybe you select none of them and you try 2 or 3 others, and maybe those are even better for you. But you really want to narrow it down to 1 or 2, ideally 1, because if you find that perfect one for you right away, that's excellent. You can get started in there, and this is what I recommend doing. You find that one or the one that you think is perfect, you just get started in there, you try everything out, you try to make your music, and you really try to master the program, because the best DAW for you is the one that you know how to use. And remember, people aren't listening to your music because of what software you use, they're listening because you created a great song. So you want to get to the point with that software where you can just focus on the music. And it does take time. All of these programs have a learning curve to them. Music production isn't something that's really simple. It's something that takes time to learn. So if you're going to get serious, be sure to set your mindset that you are going to have to learn some stuff here. And don't give up, because it does get easier. But you're continually going to be learning, and that's what music production is all about. You're continually learning, you're continually trying new things, experimenting with music. That's what it's all about. Now, another very important part of your music production is an audio interface, and this video right here shows you some of the best entry-level audio interfaces that you can buy. And if you liked this video that you just watched, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.